Sup guys, MP64 here, your local pixel artist, now with a tutorial on Pizza Tower art. Before starting, I like to clarify that this video will only talk about the style, color, background and presentation cards, but will completely skip the animation even though I could or not mention it somewhere in the middle, so let's jump into it. First of all, the style. The first thing that pops to mind is 90s cartoon, similar to Courage the Cowardly Dog, Ed, Edd n Eddy, whatever happened to Robert Jones. No, what happened to him? It was a cool show. You get the idea. Scratchy line art, really expressive and over-exaggerated, to the point that you can tell their personalities just by looking at them. This really shows with Peppino and Mr. Stick, Peppino looking anxious always and Mr. Stick literally having his arm raised for changing money on his idle animation. This extends to every character in the main cast, even the pizza toppings, so first things clear, their personalities. Once that's done, you'll need an idea of their role. Main or good characters should be small, Peppino, Gustavo, the first NPCs, Jerome. I'll talk about the noise and vigilante later since there is a special case on them. If they're straight up antagonists, make them big, they need to be imponent. If you notice it, almost every bad guy in the game is it. Mr. Stick, Pepperman, Pizza Face, the stupid rat. Now, BG and Noise are an exception, since both of those characters were intended to be playable at some point and be like ambiguous. Like once you defeat them they are good or some shit, I don't know, I don't know about all Pizza Tower lore. With that in mind, let's start drawing. First of all, activate Pixel Perfect. Most pixel art programs have this, so unless you are using literally MS Paint, do it. A thing that a lot of artists struggle with is the eyes. If you don't really figure that out, either use noise eyes as a base or just draw them the most cartoony possible way compared to your reference. If you're wondering what I'm drawing, it's the cast of a YouTube channel rather than gaming. To keep it short, it's like One Place but in Spanish. Now with the colors. MacPig uses the Waterlands 2 color palette that isn't normally accessible for what I can search, and even Lowspec doesn't admit any submissions of the palette. So I leave a link in the description so you can download a version of the palette usable on aseprite. And talking about that, to add it to the palette list, just click here, open folder, and drop the file there. After that, aseprite should read it and there you have it, the full Pizza Tower color palette. Now before using it, see reference in how characters use it. For example, we have a lot of blue tones, but if you search the sprites of the game, specifically Snake, the tones of blue that are used through the game are these, specifically cyan is this one, generic skin color is this one, and so on. Even if we have the color palette, we should use it in a similar way. So try searching into sprite resource to find reference, and specifically search for enemies or NPCs. The main characters are in a .zip folder, and there are over 5,000 sprites, like only for Peppino. So search those in the wiki fandom. Even if like the page is vandalized, like what the fuck is this, dude? By the way, you should keep it simple on shadows and stuff. Peppino, for example, just has shadows around his eyes and his arms, nowhere else. The sprites should be readable, and a lot, as flat as any of the previous cartoons mentioned before. Now here's the final result. Not gonna lie, it feels kinda in-game, kinda modded, but it's done and I think I did a well enough job. It can be a lot better really, but for the experience, these sprites in particular, I think it's the most similar to the game's art style. But it feels like pizza, it smells like tower, so it's ready to go for me. Now with the title card. Remember what I said at the start with the size, colors and keep it simple? Well, fuck all that. The title cards of the game are a literal playground, so do it as exaggerated as you can, so this is where the cartoony essence really shines. The expressions, the difference in tone with the level and the artwork. Just so you really get the idea, out of all the 20 title cards of the game, only 4 have Peppino in character, everything else is random artist liberty. My favorite ones are Peppy Bot Factory, War, Deep Dish 9, Golf and Lario. To continue, the only rule that you shouldn't break is that it needs to be cel-shading. Avoid using anti-aliasing techniques like on that one thing of Sugar Spy that's really fucked up. Oh, and the resolution of the title card is 960 per 540, if you're wondering. Just draw wherever you feel like it. It doesn't even have to be that much with the level. Imagine if you have the name of the level and two different people take the task of making the level and the other one the title card, even though this wasn't the case since McPeak did both. But just imagine. The best illustration that I can make for this is the freeze frame from SpongeBob, but with cel shading. Finally, the name. You are completely free to do whatever you want with this, but keep it a bit simple. You can do whatever you feel with the font, color, it should look minimalistic, yet really wacky. I decided to make it with Comic Sans. And with that done, that should be it. Here is both final versions. I like experimenting with art style, and Pizza Tower got to be one of the most unique ones out there. I remember some people saying that Pizza Tower is what Cuphead was for Run and Gun, but for Wario-like games. Since the art style is like more modern cartoons being 90s instead of 30s. Anyway, if I see support on this video, I make a second part explaining the animation techniques, since that is what I see really people struggling with. Not only amateur artists, but even more skilled ones. Damn, even Sugar Spire have some problems with that. So that was it for today's vid, and see you in the next one. Remember to wash your teeth and brush your ass. I'm MP64, see you up.